ولا هما إلا فرجت ولا دينا إلا قضيت ولا مريضا إلا شفيت ولا غائبا إلا رددت.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the nation, the watchmen stand guard but in vain. Our gracious and loving Father, we want to thank you for today. This is the day that you have made. We will all rejoice and be glad in it.
At a particular point in time, management made an assessment of our cargo activities in terms of cargo infrastructure and operational system. The result of our stock taking was that our cargo system of operation and infrastructure at hand were indeed below international standard. In this regard, Your Excellency, management thought it timely to get the requisite infrastructure and operating system in place. A business plan was developed and submitted to the EIF through the Ministry of Trade for funding. With the help of the ministry, an amount of $2.5 million was granted by the EIF for the project. And out of this amount, $1.8 million was allocated to GIA to put up this complex and equip it. The balance of the grant was allocated to other components of the project, such as training, that is capacity building, and marketing of the facility. I would like all of you to join me in thanking the EIF. EIF has not been sponsoring infrastructure projects of this nature. The Gambia is the first country to benefit from such a project.
The air cargo industry has come up with a campaign dubbed Air Cargo Makes It Happen, in view of the important role it plays in the global economy. The industry, which carries just 0.5% of goods transported globally, accounts for 34.6% of total revenue collected annually on goods worldwide, and this represents about $5 trillion. The industry is also projected to outpace passenger traffic growth in certain parts of the world. Therefore, this cargo complex, which has all the features that meet international standards and requirements, could not have come at a more opportune time for us as an airport operator and civil aviation authority, as well as the Gambia as a country. As we continue to pursue our dream of making Banjul International Airport a hub, it is critical that such infrastructure is in place considering the trajectory of growth we envisage for the airport. The complex will also make us more competitive in terms of cargo handling and transport since this is the preferred mode of transportation for perishable and high-valued goods. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is one thing developing a cargo complex and another for the transport of the volumes of cargo expected to be processed in the facility. Therefore, the need for a fully functional home-based Gambian carrier to complement this contemporary cargo edifice cannot be overstated.
Your Excellency, this trade facilitation project, as alluded earlier, was sponsored by the Enhanced Integrated Framework and coordinated by the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment in collaboration with the Gambia International Airlines Management, which is one of the key development strategies of the management of GIA to broaden the revenue base of the company. In addition to revenue generation for the company, the project aims to promote socio-economic development of the country through trade facilitation. The facility, when properly marketed, will increase the global awareness of the Gambia and what we produce locally as a country. Therefore, by extension, the facility will provide a strong brand identity for the Gambia brand, which complements government's effort in nation building. It will also provide a favorable indicator among us the World Bank doing business indicators, thereby ensuring ease of doing business in the Gambia, a critical factor determinant for attracting foreign direct investment and also building investor confidence. In this regard, the board will continue to provide guidance in ensuring that the project is viable and sustainable. Where possible, Your Excellency, partnership would be forged both locally and internationally to enable the facility to generate the direct desired volume of inbound and outbound air cargo.
This launch is a great step forward to the Gambia and adds to the prospects of greater trade with friends in the region and beyond. International trade is not only a gateway to economic empowerment at home, but also an instrument of wealth creation for future generations. We share the priorities and vision of the government and hope that these positive achievements may be translated into greater economic growth, supporting portions of society that have not yet reaped benefits of international trade. The Gambia is going through a process of momentous transformation. The Enhanced Integrated Framework stands ready to continue our support to the government of the Gambia as it expands to its full potential and carves its space into the international stage and multilateral trading system. The trade outlook is very bright, with active participation at the last WTO Ministerial Conference, and you have been a voice for trade-led economic development and increased foreign investment.
Years ago, the board of the EIF had one of its main meetings in the Gambia. We were warmly welcomed by our Gambian hosts. Included in that visit were field visits to a laboratory to see EIF sector competitiveness project to increase quality assessment of ground nuts. We were at a launch of an trade information center. But what has really stayed in my memory was the visit to a vacant plot, grassland. It looked like that with a little bit of grass. And where already from 2013, I think it was, one had been working, or even before that, working to start this project. We were shown pictures of what it could look like, but we only saw that plot of land. And we thought, oh dear, how is this going to go? Why are they showing this to us? Because they could have only shown us the pictures that they were thinking of, the plans. On the other hand, having seen that plot of land, I've been thinking of this for 4 years. I've been wondering what is happening here. And it's been fantastic to be able to come visit now, 4 years later, and see that it's concluded. It's not concluded. The building is ready to go. The scanner is there. The cold storage place and everything. But now you're going to start using it. Now is the start, really, of what is going to happen here.
The cargo complex is a joint venture project under the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, and the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. And I'm also glad that the Permanent Secretary of Trade mentioned the need to cooperate and teamwork. In fact, this is an example of teamwork, and I hope it continues in the stages of the operations and management of this complex. The project, as was mentioned a few times, was funded by the EU through the EIF arm, and I am told that it started around 2015. The project is both consistent with and timely in the implementation of our National Development Plan, which was recently launched, and our National Transport Policy, which was recently finalized. In line with the NDP and the NTP, the complex is intended to expand the services of the Banjul International Airport to now include exportation, importation as well, of agricultural and fisheries products, thus increasing trade activities, which is positive, which is going to be positive for the economy at large, and it is going to be beneficial to the concerned communities who are fully represented here. Your Excellencies, the Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, and the Minister of Trade are both determined through our partnership to turn the Banjul International Airport not only into a passenger travel hub, but also a trading hub in the region.
Facing in the Gambia, as has been highlighted by previous speakers, trade facilitation projects or facility. This cargo complex, therefore, which is equipped with live scanners to reduce the processing time of clearing goods and a cold room to preserve preservable goods to improve the quality of Gambian exports for greater international markets, will play an important role in ensuring that the Gambia repositions itself in trade and trade investments. This initiative has the potential to improve trade facilitation and increase logistic infrastructure and services at the Banjul International Airport through improved institutional arrangements, human capacity building, and enhancement of support services. The project, as previous speakers have said, would also ensure transparent, secured, and competitive airport services to businesses, including young Gambians in the diaspora willing to invest in the Gambia. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this project at GIA will also better able to reposition the Gambia in terms of safety and security standards in handling of cargo and passenger traffic, and will be able to increase the number of airlines serving and accepting cargo from the Gambia. The project will also improve the overall image of the Gambia, positioning the country as an attractive freight cargo hub in the sub-region, therefore contributing to future economic development and prosperity. It is envisaged that the results of the project will stimulate both local and national economy, hence contribute to improved livelihoods in the horticultural and fisheries export subsectors. This is the end of the statement. However, I would like to convey to His Excellency the President the very good recommendations that have been made by the CCIA and GIA in terms of ensuring or helping to have a homegrown airline facility that would increase the sustainability of this trade facilitation project. I think this is a very important element in trade and investment, and I would like to inform this gathering that the government is working assiduously to ensure that by the end or middle or at any stage of its governance, it will be able to attract a homegrown airline that will not only champion the cause of the Gambia in trade and investment in the sub-region, but also open markets in the global economy. We know that the economy in the Gambia cannot grow by itself. It is interdependent, and given that the Gambia doesn't have all the raw materials, it would have to work in hand with the sub-region and the global market in order to ensure that there is strategic partnerships and not only providing the products and services, but also enhancing knowledge sharing, information, communication technology. On that note, on my own humble behalf, I thank you so much, because this facility is not only going to contribute particularly to entrepreneurs, but specifically to women who have been really working so hard in the horticulture, animal husbandry, and other services, yet they are never able to realize their potentials in terms of exporting and importing. We do hope that the women can now have the cold rooms, use the cold rooms for their horticultural produce, and they can also import other services that they need in the sub-region. So on that note, on behalf of the Gambian women, I would like to pray that this facility brings in more facilities in GIA and CCA, and also the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, and also the Gambia at large. God bless all of us. May Allah continue to guide us and protect us as a nation. May Allah help those donors who are going out to look for funding in the name of the Gambia, be given more funds to look for Gambia. For EIF, special thanks, because we know that coming from a donor community, that many donors are not usually into infrastructural development. But because Gambia is stable, because we are an emerging democracy, because we have been patient for 22 years and have been able to bring our people back, you are ready to give us some exception. So on behalf of the government of His Excellency the President, the government of the Gambia, including the people of the Gambia, we thank EIF, and we would like you to convey to your operators, to your donors, that we will make this facility a model in Africa. And in terms of sustainability also, I'm happy that our able Minister of Works and Infrastructure has given his commitment to provide all the infrastructural support in terms of post-project operations. That is most important. It is not only a project. The project will remain, can become an elephant, white elephant, if the sustainability aspect is not given. And fundamentally, we also like to know and appreciate that this project has been nationally driven, Hence, there is hope that it will be sustained by not only the operators, by the institutions, but also it will create opportunities, job employment opportunities for the communities around this area. Thank you so much. God bless you all.